This is Magic Flying Potato here, and today I'm going to be playing some Frostpunk, which it's on Steam for $30. It's kind of a still in development type game, but not really. It was released April 2018. They're slowly releasing other content for it. It is a strategic simulation resource gathering game where you got to gather resources and keep your people happy, which isn't the easiest thing because this is pretty much based back in like the mid 1800s, and people were very whiny and complaining back then as well. So when you go in, I've already started a game. I've been pretty much tried that one yesterday. I know when I first started playing, up here it said it was the new home main story, and I was trying to find the different level settings adjustments on it, and one would think you would go under the settings and find like easy, medium, hard, and impossible settings here, but they're not here, and they weren't up here under the story of a new home, so I just played at normal settings. Lost many times, and I finally won on Saturday. But what I did find out is if you do the select scenario and go in, you can customize it all right in here. And see, that wasn't obvious to me, and there was really nowhere in the game stating that that's how you did it. So that's how you do it. Disable it altogether. I don't need to listen to the music. Alright, so gonna do the main scenario. We're not gonna do the whole thing because it can take a while, just to get the basics out. Me personally, when I play almost any game, I like a tutorial that shows you how to play the game. Maybe a small section where you can read on how to do it, but I don't like to read like pages and pages and pages of directions on how to play a game. But what I don't like are games that only explain like a very tiny bit and then that's it, and then you're left wondering what's going on. And I don't like to go out, research, and do like everybody's
roam the still, cold
cookie cutter. This is the way to do it.
Inside.
So this is the story of the game.
The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress, until the frost stopped it all.
I think that ladybug was dead
suddenly,
before the frost hit.
without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow, and with it, our last traces of humanity.
So they did the reverse thing of global warming, but this is back in the 1800s.
We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north.
Because north during a global cool down and lots of snow is where I want to go.
Maybe months, leaving behind
it's cold
all
already,
the things
so
we once believed had made
let's
us.
move north to where it's even colder all
It
the
was
time.
hope
And then let's try to stay
that
survive.
pushed us forward.
Let's try to survive and stay
Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, The time has come to build the last city on Earth.
Alright, so basically they moved north because the Earth Ice Age happened, so let's move north to where it's colder to try to live. Apparently they said, somewhere I read, that they didn't want to move to the southern hemisphere or towards the equator because that's where everybody was going and they didn't want to deal with that. Yeah, it's, I guess, yeah. Anyways, so this is the basic, every game scenario that I've played, you start off in this hole. This is that furnace that they built in, it's the starting area of all the scenarios, that you got to keep this thing lit because it heats everything around, or not everything around it, it heats up a little area around it, but with that it like pumps steam to homes and other places to keep other places warm until it gets colder. Makes sense. So they want you to stockpile coal to the generator. So you start off with 80 people. You got coal deposits, steel deposits all around, fallen trees. So what you want to do is pretty much get your workers out collecting all this stuff to start off with. And it's very slow at the beginning, so I usually go up here and speed it up. And you do start off with some basics, but they want you to gather 200 coal and turn this generator on. So 200 coal, and we'll go ahead and fire it up. And now they want us to gather food. So with this game, it's all about trying to do the research to improve resource gathering, which is coal to keep the furnace going, wood to build things, steel to build things, and then going out and finding food, which requires hunting parties, and which requires people, and then you go out and hunt and try to get food, and everybody still complains. Alright, so from what I did learn when I did do a little research, okay, so they will require different things and it will come out on this taskbar to your bottom left. So yeah, I usually just click the top one because I can provide some shelter and it makes them happy. If you want to try providing everybody shelter, then if you don't do it, they get mad quickly, which is down here on the discontent home bar. So houses, right here is the range of the heat. Anything inside or touching this is within a heating zone. So you could go ahead and I've heard somebody was saying if you put them out here, you could actually build more stuff. I've tried it. I didn't see how I was able to build more stuff because these take 2 spaces, and if you put it out here, there's only 1 space in there. So it's pretty much choice of how you want to try to build it to start off. So I'll just put, what do we got going on here? We got 80 people. Each one of these tents hold 10, so I'll put 3 up. Also build some gathering posts, which keeps people warm, and instead of designating 10 people to work on 1 coal pile, you designate 10 people to work in the shelter, and wherever you put it, wherever the resources turn green, they will gather those resources within this circle. So it's kind of better to put that down. So like down here you can gather all 3 of these resources, and then you got to build roads. They want roads. Even though they make these little pathways, they still want roads. So you go ahead and connect roads to the main areas. So you go ahead and do that. And you could destroy roads later on if you click on the hammer, and right here you can dismantle roads and buildings, and with that you get some of the wood back that you used to build the woods road. They also want food, so see up here is your building taskbar. So you got your people, which is houses, cemeteries, your health, which is medical facilities, and later on they'll ask for other things. Food, you got your cookhouse, which actually cooks the food. Your hunters' huts, which they go out and hunt, and then later on you research more things and build them there. Resources, the resource depot doesn't require people. It's where they store food or resources. The building huts, you need people. And then the tech, which we need to build this pretty soon, which is the workshop. Alright, so oops. So I'll go ahead and speed this up again. Let's see. All this saying is kind of listen to the crowd. Half the time it helps set your goals and set your priorities of what they want, because it's all about trying to keep this discontent bar as low as possible, this hope bar as high as possible. Okay, so these roads are not connected. Go ahead and connect them. Alright, so right here that first hut was built, so I'm going to take these workers off and put them in here. So these 10 workers will now work at both these coal resources. Same with this. Those people, take my engineers off. Okay, so with that, it just said that the people were happy that I did build them shelters, but pretty soon they'll complain more. But I need to put up some food and hunters, which I need wood. I guess I'll put my engineers back on. So engineers in this game, they research and they also work the medical facilities. Alright, so yeah, it's telling me critical shortage of materials, but I never worry about that, because right here is what they call the Book of Laws. And they got different things that these people will require or ask for, and some will make them happy, which will improve hope, and then others improves hope a little bit. It just kind of, it's like one or the other type path on these. You can't choose them both, so it's one thing one game you'll play around with one side and then play around with the other. It's personal choice. And then so
work time. Get moving.
As you see, okay, so now you got your time up here. It is work time, so the people work. I'll click on these houses from 8 in the morning to 6 at night, and then at night they won't work. So resources aren't being gathered, food isn't being cooked, medical facilities are open 24/7, research facility is. So that's something here we can actually go to the adaptation and click on emergency shift, which allows you to force them to work a short period of 24 hours. They don't like it, as you can see down here, but if you need resources bad, they will work 24 hours gathering resources instead of that 8 to 6 time period. So
Listen, everyone.
New law passed. Discontent should rise a little bit. Yep, see, it goes up. Okay, so over here it shows that my steel, there was a steel deposit here that got depleted. So now we have 60 steel. The wood is still there. That will be soon gone. I think if you click on it, it tells you what percent. Click over it? No, I thought it did. Alright, so continue on. Alright, so hunters' tents. They could be put, they have their own heating source, so they don't have to be close to any of this to use up these spaces. So they could be put all the way out on the edge of the maps, You can spin maps around by the Q and E keys. Find better places to put them, because here, anything that has this white box means that a higher tech facility will go there, so you don't want to put them there. So go ahead and put the couple of hunters things out here. Connect the street to them. I've read that you didn't have to connect streets to these, but I think it kind of speeds it up if you do. Oops. Alright. And then with that, I also want to build so that
Finish your labors, people.
that horn
The
sounds
one
in the
day
day,
is up.
so people will not be working anymore. 50 are still homeless. With being homeless, the sick rating goes up because of the cold. Because you keep an eye on this temperature gauge, and they do have an overlay. If you click on that, it'll show you everything that's heated. So as you can see, these are heated well. Gathering posts are heated okay, and then you got your living area around this, which can be later research, which can increase this circle, but it also uses up more coal. Alright, so it does require people.
Work time. Get back to work.
And I want to build a tech place, so I'll put the tech place just outside. The circle. I'll build a heater soon to heat further areas out. I also need to build a cookhouse. Which I'll put over here by the street. And if you don't, on some of these buildings, if you don't connect them to streets, they will not, people will not work in them. Okay, so I just built the research facility, so now I'm able to research all these different technologies. The big one they want me to start on is this beacon, which will be able to send a balloon up to be able to send scouts out to go look for stuff. But then when you do that, people start complaining more. But you also get other resources and more settlers from other places to come in and start working. So you definitely need to do this. It's kind of between like the steam hub, which is another, it's a remote heater, and the beacon. But then you also have your coal thumper, which you need more coal. Steelworks, definitely need that. And then the wall drill, which is further down on the drawing board, which you got to click on to upgrade. Food shelter, hunters gather more. Food really isn't an issue at the beginning, so I usually don't worry about that right away. Resources, beacon, heating. So I'll go ahead and build the beacon. And you got to make sure you have the resources down here before you build. So as this building, here's how long it will take to build the beacon. Got to put people in there, so they'll start cooking food. Up here you see the food, the raw food, and then cooked food. And we'll go ahead and we'll build a couple more houses. Put them near the street. Alright, so I'll build one more house, and then, okay, so that coal pile is deleted.
Night is coming. Put down your tools.
This lady's asking for the beacon to be built so they could go find her family. When resources are depleted like this, you could actually take these buildings down, which will give you some wood and steel back, and then put it up somewhere else to gather resources. So we'll go ahead and dismantle it and put it in a different location. I'll put it over here. And the thing about this game is it doesn't vary up the locations of anything. So every time you play the same, like this new home scenario, all these resources will be in the exact same location. Wish they kind of moved them around some. Would have made it more, I guess, interesting. So just go ahead and connect that. So now my people, once they build that hut, they'll start gathering the steel and these wood piles as well. So I'll go ahead and go back in here, and we also have extended shifts, which again they're 8 to 6, I think. This will extend them even further. 14-hour shifts instead of 12-hour shifts. People don't like it, but it's... Okay, so up here is also, so we're on day 4, and this is the temperature bar, and it just got colder, and right here it'll get warmer again. So as it gets colder, you'll see some of these buildings are too cold to start for people to work in.
Time to get to work.
Which means I need to build a heater in them to actually turn it on to heat the building back up, but we'll do that shortly. Alright, so we do have 20 people available, so I'll stick another 10 in here for food. Okay, so the beacon is ready, and there are only certain locations that this can be put up, and it's... Oh no, this one you can put up anywhere, but like these, they don't need to be near the center of the city, so I will put it out here where it's out of the way. And as soon as something's researched, you can start researching on a new thing, so we can go ahead. Steam hubs, they don't take very long. And this lets us right here expand our living areas. Put a couple more houses up while we're at it.
Work day ends. It's time off.
Connect these to roads. Okay, so the beacon is going to go up pretty soon. What's this? Okay, so provide they want shelter, and I already beat them to it, so that will go away pretty soon. Oops. I can speed this back up. Alright, so they're happy. This goes up, this goes down. Okay, so the beacon is built. Big old beacon, hot air balloon, steampunkish balloon goes up. Now this is one of these games. I like to play first-person shooters a lot until I get very frustrated. So these are one of these games that kind of just let me sit back and use my mind in a different way instead of trying to do the first-person shooters, which I play a lot of Battlefield 5 right now. And I saw this game. This game actually, I should have said at the beginning, is free on Origin, as long as you got a basic account. So that's the only reason why I picked it up, was free versus $30. Do the math, and it's a lot better. Alright, so the beacon is up, and with that we can actually build scouts once we have enough resources, which is what they're asking for right now is to get the scouts out to start finding people. Not really worried about this right now because it's going to heat back up in a few hours. Alright, so first death. I've never done this corpse disposal. It gives you the plus and minuses of doing this. I usually build a cemetery, which hope rises. It does cost a little bit. We'll go ahead and do this. Hope will fall, discontent will rise. That's why I don't do it. So I went ahead and said I'll build a cemetery.
Everyone, new law is signed.
And every day at 0500, the setting up here will automatically slow down to normal game speed. Just speed it back up, and then the people will go to work. And now people are dying because they're out in the cold.
Work time.
So
Get
right
back to
here,
work.
being that I did the research for cemetery, here it is under the people's tab, and I usually just stick it way out here out of the way. I will have to heat this sometime soon, but not right now. I could have swore I... Oh, okay, so this is no longer in use, so I could tear this down and get those 9 people back. Got to do some more research. Always keep doing research. It's between the steelworks and the wall drill. The sawmill, if you build the sawmill, let me pause this. All these trees on the outside, all these dead trees, the sawmill will, if you put it in the vicinity where, kind of like with the resource, the gathering, same with the sawmill. So wherever these trees are at, you put the sawmill down, and whatever falls in that circle, the people will go out, get those trees, cut them up, and use it as wood. But they'll disappear, and then you tear down the sawmill, move it. Or we could build a wall drill which digs into the wall, and from what they say, there's wood that's been frozen within there, and they'll just thaw it and use that. So we'll go ahead and research upgrade and work at trying to get that, because we still got, we don't have very much out there for wood, but they're gathering it. So alright, speed this back up. During the day, you'll definitely see that this goes up, and then at night, when they stop working, your resources will go down, especially coal. And if you're building at night, this will go down as well. So they want a medical outpost, because 10 people are sick, 2 are gravely ill. So what they want is you go in and build this medical post. Put it here. There's really no right or wrong area to put stuff like that. You just, it's kind of zoning everything. I've seen people show like they build house zones, medical zones, and other. I just kind of randomly put stuff around and work my way out to larger circles. So with the medical post, okay, so down here you have your people. There's 49 workers working, 9 that are not. The engineers, like I said, right here, they do research. They also do the medical facilities. And you got kids. I could pass a law making kids work anywhere, or I could pass a law saying that they could work only in safe areas, or I can pass a law that say they won't work, but yet we'll teach them technological and medical skills and make them work in the medical and this like research facility. And you could click on any of these if you're low on people. You could click on it and find. Oh, I thought you could click on. And it shows where they're working. If I didn't have enough, I could find if I got engineers working as a cook. I don't need them there. I need them over here. I could take them and move them over here. Alright, so for now, still don't have enough trees to do the expedition. I need 40. Alright, so for now, I'm at pretty much 30 minutes of doing this. Not the most exciting video, but it does give you a look at what this Frostpunk is. Again, it's free on Origin if you have basic access. $30 on Steam. I don't know if I'd pay $30 for this right now, but if this is the type of game that you like, then it's definitely a challenge on normal settings. So, but anyways, this is Magic Flying Potato. I will leave it here and save this game, and we can continue on if there's interest in this. If not, this is just a basic overview on what this game is, and what it's about, how it plays, and what you can expect when you do buy the game if you do get it. Other than that, I will talk to you all again later. Post a new video of probably Empyrean pretty soon. Take it easy.